All right, welcome back to the One Bar and Lepage Show. I'm One Bar. In this episode, we're talking some NFL drafts, specifically defensive tackle from Alabama, Christian Barmore. Anybody who's been watching college football this year, Alabama games, Barmore, I would bet my beautiful Vikings hat on it that Christian Barmore stuck out. Barmore is a monster, 6'5", 310 pounds, middle of that defense. Started all year, had 8 sacks, 9.5 tackles for a loss, 37 total tackles, and was just constantly disrupting shit in the backfield of opposing offenses. Obviously, Barmore at defensive tackle fills a huge need for the Minnesota Vikings. His draft status has been kind of all over the place throughout the year. He's looked at as maybe a guy in the 3rd round, all the way up to a top 10 pick. Well, if you've been watching the last couple of games against Notre Dame and then last night against Ohio State, clearly you can tell that his draft stock is going to rise. I think that it is damn near a given that he's a top 15 pick. Vikings have pick 14. What a lovely, lovely scenario here. So let's get to know Mr. Barmore just a little bit. So he was a redshirt freshman at Alabama. Redshirt of the year, Quinn Williams was there, and Isaiah Buggs, one of the best NFL draft names ever. And then last year finally got his first taste out there. Rotational guy, had a couple sacks. Alabama fans were really questioning why he wasn't the starter even last year. They wanted to see more of him. Realistically, it's probably because he was so damn raw, and he still is pretty damn raw, but he has the size. His bread and butter is power. The guy is a monster. He, He embarrasses opposing offensive linemen. I guess that's fair to say. With his power, sure, the technique will need to come. He's not going to be able to rely on that power in the NFL solely, but his body alone, his power is going to get defensive coordinators, defensive-minded coaches like Mr. Zimmer very, very excited. So where does he fit with the Vikings? Well, obviously, you plop him right in. He's a day one starter. And that might not be saying much considering who we have at defensive tackle now, but close your eyes. Picture this defensive line for 2021. Danielle Hunter back from injury. Michael Pierce back from COVID list. Barmore in the middle next to him. And then on the other side, defensive end, you have a mixture of DJ Wanham, Odenigbo, maybe a free agent we signed, maybe another draft pick. Talk about an improvement over what we have this year, which was Odenigbo, Shamar Stephen, Jaleel Johnson, and Jalen Holmes. That's insane. Not only does that make our defensive line much, much better, which is one of our biggest needs, but it also helps our young secondary, blah, blah, blah. We know the drill. Barmore, I think, would come in as a rookie. Like I said, he would start for the Vikings, no doubt about it. He would be raw. There would be some learning curves there, no doubt. But when you have a guy like Michael Pierce next to you, when you got Danielle Hunter over there, you're going to have some room. You're going to have some space to play. And his big thing is getting back into the backfield of opposing offenses. And that's what we didn't have. That's what we did not have one damn bit this year. And I think he is absolutely on the table for the Vikings at pick 14. The big question is he there at 14? I know people are going to say, no way. He's late round one. Ain't going to happen. A lot of teams, the thing with Barmore is he can play multiple positions. He could be the nose. He could be the 3 technique. For the Vikings, he'd be the 3 tech, and he'd be damn good. So there's going to be a need there. And at pick 14, I can't think of anything better. While it would be sexy to think that a Devontae Smith is going to be there, or some wide receiver, or possibly like a Trey Lance, you got to be realistic with the Vikings. You got to look where they're at. They don't have that 2nd round pick. They have to squash one of these big needs right off the bat. And it might not be sexy at D tackle, but you just wait till week 1 when this defensive line is up in their ass. So Christian Barmore, like I said, we're going to be talking a lot more about him. I'm sure after that game last night, where he was the defensive player of the game, he's going to get a lot more run, a lot more chatter. And maybe, who knows, maybe come April, him being there at pick 14 would be a pipe dream. We might be trading up for this guy, but he is on my list, very short list of guys I would love the Vikings to get in round 1 as of today.